Hello. Looks like we had a little technical difficulties. So let's see. We have persons coming back inside money classroom. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened, but we are back. We are back. We are back. Just gonna wait a little for persons to jump on over. Not sure what happened here, but we'll see. Wait and see as persons join. All right, drop in the comments. Let me know if you guys are back, if you're hearing me, because nothing now stop the money classroom. Nothing now stop. We have knowledge that needs to be delivered. We have education that needs to be delivered. Drop in the chat. Let me know if you guys are hearing me. Let me know. So we all know, right? The troubles with technology sometimes, but it not beat we. Christine is back. I am back. Good, Christine. I had a little technical difficulties. Don't know what's going on, but we're back. We still have the knowledge to impart. The education needs to be delivered. All right, so sound good, hearing you loud and clear. All right, persons coming back on, and we getting everybody back inside the money classroom. So bear with us a little while we make sure. All right, Michelle, hello.
Mhm.
We're just gonna
Yes,
talk
yes.
while people come back into the classroom, They're slowly rocking and coming. So I see persons joining. So the main thing I wanted us to focus on, I know JMB is very big on this. It's a perfect company to talk about this mindset
Mhm.
and abundance,
Mhm.
solution thinking, right? Not just being trapped by our circumstance or trapped in what we're born with, but realizing that there's more to life, that we can live life and live a good life, a good life, and we can make life better for generations to come. So let's probably start talking first about your philosophy as it relates to JMB's philosophy. You can even drop in your personal philosophy about wealth and abundance.
You know, we've heard this before, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still there hearing me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm hearing
All
you.
right. So, if the mind can conceive it and the heart can believe it, I can achieve it. But of course, it means that we also need to therefore be surrounding ourselves with persons who, like Wayne, has achieved it, has done it, so that you're putting in your space more people who are possibility thinkers than persons who are gonna say, "You know why you want to try that? You ever hear nobody like you try that kind of thing?" And so that is what I would say is my own philosophy. You're gonna be surrounding yourself because whatever your money mindset is, if your money mindset is here, so you're going to reach here. So if your money mindset is here, so you're going to reach here. So as we want to increase our wealth, then the way in which we think about money has got to change. And of course, whatever negative concepts we had before, we now need to put ourselves in an environment of knowledge like this program here so that we can change that mindset.
It have to go that way because the main thing we want everybody to understand and everybody inside money classroom
Mm-hmm.
is that I can do more. Me
Mm-hmm.
can have money, right? So as much money as you think you can have, that's how much you will have. I
Mm-hmm.
always tell a story where, when I just start work, I'm the one that was $100,000. That was my dream. I say if I have $100,000, but good. Because I never born with nothing, right? I grew up sharing and your mother, single mother, do her thing, work hard for pay the bills. So there was no excess ever. There was no like extra of anything. So for me, having $100,000 would mean all right, I have excess, but good. And that was it for me. I never want nothing more than $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I ended up having. And then by the time I get there, I say, well, this can't really do much. Or may I live off of this? And so I had
Mm-hmm.
to push my mind a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I pushed, I saw that more money came.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, look here, man, for teaching people the things, because how you perceive your money is the money where you have.
Mm-hmm.
You think say 100,000 you for have, 100,000 you have. You
Mm-hmm.
believe that you should be a millionaire, you're gonna be a millionaire.
And one of the reasons that this would happen, is let's think about if somebody's gonna go fishing. If what you go to catch is like a sprat, then the kind of bait you're going to carry is going to be sprat bait, and the type of fishing gear that you're gonna have is going to be appropriate for the sprat that you go to catch. But if what you really want is big fish, then where you're gonna go is gonna be different. The persons you're gonna take along with you gonna be different. The kind of instrument you use is gonna be different. Probably even the boat that you're traveling now, right? Maybe at one time you're gonna be on land and you're casting a one line, but now you say, no, I have to go out into the deep. And so, just as you were saying, Keisha, whatever it is that we want, we're now going to start envisioning it, and we're going to be going after that, and we realize that what we had before cannot get us what we want, and therefore recognize that we have to change our whole methodology. And if you're going to go to catch big fish also, just your whole mindset about the fish is different, because you start looking for the big fish. Whereas if what you want is like a sprat, like a tiki tiki, right, then you go looking for that. So it also boils down to that. You start to visualize and you start to plan in a different way. It's a different set of strategies needed to get bigger money than the small money.
But it's also important to be humble along the journey, right? So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times people, when you start with the small money, say, boy, chow, it's not nothing. But without the small money, you can't have the big money.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the small money, you're using that time to develop certain money habits,
Mm-hmm.
build on. So when the big money come, you already did set a certain way with how you deal with your finances. So you're better off now with the big money.
Mm-hmm.
So don't take for granted the small money, because you have to go through that period and learn the correct habits you need to have. The
Mm-hmm.
emergency fund, the regular investments. We talk a lot about the budgeting. If you not do them things there with the small money, you're not gonna ever reach big money, because that is the foundation for big money. So sometimes we have to also enjoy the small money period and use that period to develop a certain skill set, a certain habit, a certain lifestyle to
And the
get
small
where
money, because if you're using the small money and you lose the small money, right? The losing is a part of the game. I saw something some long time ago that said every single rich person has lost money. But
you
many poor people don't lose no money because they never take a risk. So when the money is small, it gives you an opportunity to say, well, you know what? I can risk this because I can earn it back. So that is the time when, of course, after the emergency put on, after the emergency fund put on, then you say, okay, I can start to take a little risk to help me to learn along the way. And so, one of the things I want to talk about, Keisha, is just a couple of ways in which you can even approach this whole real estate thing. Because some of your listeners are saying, boy, I'm ready for what Wayne just said. I'm ready to purchase real estate overseas. And for some persons, are saying, we're not quite ready yet. But what do I do in the meantime? You can actually participate in the real estate market. At JMB, we have something called the Optimum Capital Unit Trust, and that is constructed with real estate in there. So in other words, GMB has real estate in Jamaica, and we also have indirect access to properties overseas also, and we put them all in one fund, and you can actually purchase into the fund. So that little money that you have, while you're saying, okay, I'm going to be learning some more about the real estate market overseas, and I'm going to be testing the waters, I want to travel, I want to find whichever persons overseas can help me with this property. In the meantime, you need to be putting down your money, right? You need to be investing some money. Remember, this is after the emergency fund is okay. And so the optimum capital is one way. So although you would not have actually physically purchased a property, because we already have real estate from all over in that, you're already in the real estate market. And while you are concentrating on learning the real estate market overseas, we're busy churning the money. So that when you know have reached a point where it's okay, I'm ready to take this plunge, and I have the money for the deposit, if it is that you're going to be taking out a mortgage over there, you can now use this money. This money that was in the optimum capital, you can now use it. You can take it out and say, this is what I'm going to use for the deposit on the property. Or it may be that you say, I don't want to take out the money. I want to borrow against that money. So you keep the investment and borrow against the investment. So that is another option for persons who are not 100% ready yet. While you're doing all the fact finding and everything, you can still invest little bit, little bit, little bit until a little bit turn plenty bit, until the plenty bit turn enough. You keep on investing in that optimum capital unit trust.
So I like that because it don't exclude anybody.
Mm-mm.
And we don't ever want money to be something where you use it as a limiting factor.
Right.
No money, so me can't do this. Me nah
Mm-mm.
no money, so that enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Always a path. And once we appreciate that and we say, look here, I really just to understand, that's really what it boils down to, Michelle. It
Mm-hmm.
boils down to just looking for opportunities, looking for solutions for make
Mm-hmm.
a move for what me want to do. Because nobody going come and hand deliver the solution. You have to be out there looking for it. And we are
Exactly.
here giving you, so you're there at the right place to get that solution.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying, start with this optimum growth fund,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Optimal capital, yes. That is
Optimum
one
capital.
option. There are lots of other options, but because we're talking about real estate and
Yes,
persons may want
exactly.
to feel as though, okay, I'm already in the real estate market. That is why I'm mentioning that one. Not that it is the only option available to you. So what I would say is come into JMB, do your free goal planning session with us. Map out how much money you're actually going to need to pay down on that property, and let us help you to get to that place. And the optimum capital is one of the things that we may place in the portfolio for you. But when you come in and you talk to us, then we'll be able to say, all right, listening to your specific situation, Keisha, this is what we would advise for your XY. And for Kristen, we say, boy, Kristen, for you, let's do ABC. Right? But I'm just sharing with you one of the options that we do actually have available, and you can take a loan against it if you need to.
Well, the thing is again implementation, taking
Mhm.
action, right? So well, first understand where we want to go because we don't want to run up and down as them say like no it fall. Let us run from this investment to that investment to over this or to over this. So you don't know if you
Mhm.
can make money, lose money. We have to start first with that goal. So we open
And
up
you
our
know,
mindset.
and you know something, Keisha? I want to go back, way back,
Go
right?
way,
We're
all
talking
right,
about,
Michelle.
huh? What is
Go
it?
way back.
So we're going back to 2008, right? That was a big financial crisis where so many persons were losing their homes in the US. And at that time, many of my clients were purchasing lots of real estate overseas because the market was quite affordable, right? And
Mhm.
what they were able to do is they were able to take out loans against their investments at GMB. So I remember, when persons would come in and I would show them, okay, so let's work out the math. You can actually afford to do so. You don't actually have to take out the cash. So now that you're talking about the fact that the feds have raised interest rates, and there may be some persons who cannot afford their homes, we're not wanting to prey on the bad fortune of other persons. However, we're just saying that it does present an opportunity, right? And so persons may want to start looking because it may be possible that houses may become more affordable, right? In the US or elsewhere. And so you want to make sure that you are poised for that. Earlier, though, you were talking about the home equity loan that persons can utilize. So this now is somebody who you have done your research, and you're saying, I am ready to actually purchase that property right now. And
Mm-hmm.
you have equity in your current home. Now, what normally happens in Jamaica is you can't get a mortgage on the property overseas. So, if the property is overseas, you can get a mortgage company overseas to give you a loan for that property. In other words, using that property as a security. So the property is in Florida, and the bank in the United States will give you a loan for the property in Florida. However, in Jamaica, most financial institutions would not do that because we are not in Florida. And if we have to sell the property, it's more cumbersome for us, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, it doesn't mean that we cannot give you a loan though. So what we would do, you have a property in Jamaica, we can give you a home equity loan against that property. And you're even talking about the fact that it could be against somebody else's property too, right? If they will allow you. And you take that
So
money
wait,
now.
we'll probably stop there. So JMB lend money on other people's property. I can go JMB and get that done.
As long as a person would have given you that permission. And so one of the things we do is do the paperwork to make sure that you would have gotten that permission from the individual to use their property, right? The person has to do the signing of documents and stuff so that you can use their property, right? As a security. And I mean, that can happen in Jamaica also. If you want to purchase a property in Jamaica, or if you needed a loan for something else in Jamaica, you could always use somebody else's property, right? So let us say no, you use that person's property or you use your own equity in your own property, and you can now use it to pay down on a property in the States or in England or wherever in the world it is, right? However, here is the advantage to you. Most persons buying properties overseas are doing it because they want to get rental income. And the rental income is going to be in foreign currency. What you
Mhm.
would do here is you're not going to take out a loan in a foreign currency. So rather than taking it out in US dollars, you would take a Jamaican loan, convert the money to US and pay the persons you're purchasing from. However, the loan would be in Jamaican dollars in Jamaica. Now, what is the advantage to you? If you're going to use the income from the property to pay that mortgage, because traditionally our currency tends to depreciate in value, what you can find is that the amount that you're paying on the loan remains constant. Let us say, for example, let's say it's $152,000 that you're paying initially, right? Then that would be 1,000 US dollars right now. But because the rate of depreciation continues, right? Then eventually that $1,000, if you keep on paying it, would be paying off a greater portion of the loan by the time you convert it back to Jamaican dollars because our currency would have depreciated.
Yeah.
Or eventually, rather than paying $1,000 each time, right? You might start out with 1,000, then it go down to be 980, then it go down to be 950, then it go down to be 900 because of the exchange rate. And so that is one of the advantages that you would have if you took out the loan in Jamaican dollars rather than in the foreign currency.
Taught the things, Michelle. So you're saying, all right, we want to buy property overseas, borrow Jamaican dollars,
Hmm.
convert it to US and pay for the property, but then your mortgage now, your monthly payments is in Jamaican dollars, but you're earning US dollar in the US.
Yes.
Right? That's the kind of information people need because you get that nice exchange rate benefit every time.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
And that is how some of my clients, when I used to manage individual client portfolios, that is how some of them were able to make even more money on their money. And then because they would have bought in the market, in the US market, when the prices were more depressed, then when the prices of homes then surged again, then they were able to benefit from the capital appreciation there. So therefore it was a win-win. So you want to look at where is it that the real estate market is having a slump, and you want to take advantage of that as much as possible.
all right. So we need JMB to help us, of course,
Mm.
right? So we're gonna bring up that QR code for persons to fill out the liquor form and say, all right, I want one of these mortgages, I need this help, or maybe
Mhm.
I need a goal planning session to figure out what I want to do with my money. So JMB help me out. QR code is there now for a person to just click, fill out the form, and you're gonna be connected with someone from JMB to get sorted out with your money, because that's what we want. Anything else you want to leave with persons, Michelle, that you say, what, I want everybody to understand this thing about investments and the mindset? Because we want to make sure, we're change of the mindset. We're empowering
Absolutely.
persons and motivating them. So what would you say?
You have to be willing to make financial mistakes along the way. If you're not going to be prepared to make mistakes, then more than likely you're not going to learn as much as you could, because so much is learned from what we call mistakes. But what we want to do, we want to fail fast and fail forward. Most of the persons who would have made it financially, as I said, they would have said that they would have made their own financial mistakes, and that is why they can therefore say to you, hey, do it this way rather than that way. So you want to make sure that you're open to the fact that you will make mistakes, and you want to also listen to persons who have been there before, so that their mistakes don't have to be your mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say you have to make sure that you come into it understanding that it is not going to be just always up like this when it comes on to investments. Which was the camera, right? It's not going to always be a smooth ride like this on the way up. Investments require risk. There's risk and there's return. There are two relationships between these R's. The more the potential return, the greater the potential risk. And so you have to be willing to embrace the fact that risk is going to be there. If you're not going to be willing to stomach the risk, then it would be better for you to say, all right, let me not do this as yet. It may be that you want to make sure that you're more financially secure, or it may be that you want to get some more financial education, which is why you have a money classroom. You also have GMB dollars and good sense to help you to become more au fait with the financial markets. But there is no one who has made it, who has never made a mistake. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with persons who are going to hold your hand every step of the way. So if you buck your toe, you can recover. And that is what we help you to do at GMB as your financial partners. We guide you around the landmines, but if you buck your toe, we say come.
We
We
did
can
a
do
few,
more. Yes.
which is great. All right, so we're gonna leave it there. Thank you, Michelle. Always a pleasure having you on for share your insights and your gems with the students inside Money Classroom. Thank you for being on.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's our show and tell.
This show and tell segment was brought to you by JMMB Group.
All right, so we talked with Wayne. You got all of those gems, that information. Michelle came on to open up your mindset and bust you upon some new ideas around getting mortgages in Jamaica to help you to buy properties internationally. So we have that full connection coming through. All you have to do now is implement. That's really what it is. All you have to do now is implement. So we see person, I see people came back inside Money Classroom because nothing I miss you. Nothing miss you. Drop for me in the chat. I want to know that you're there. Give me a yes, give me a connect if you found that everything we spoke about tonight was really, really helpful to you, and you know that you have the necessary information to know. Take it and implement. Give me some yeses so I know you guys are connecting. Right? So conference coming up. Can't stop talking about it because I know it's gonna be amazing. Please, tickets going fast. Them a go fast. Don't let it be said that you never know. And Keisha, if you did only tell me, but they're almost sold out. You would not believe how many people want to be educated and want the information so they can go and implement. Make sure you jump on it. Profitjumpstarter.com/conference. If you want to be in the room with the investors, that is the place to be. Can't tell you again. That's what it is. That's what it is. So make sure you go profitjumpstarter.com/conference. So we're coming to educate you, we're going to inspire you and motivate you to make some money. That is the aim. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to deliver on that. And yes, it's so persons it connect for you, which is good. Now, Newsletter is there. Make sure you guys are subscribed to that. We send out a lot of emails. May I tell you, we send a lot. So make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter as well to stay connected to us and all of the different tips and strategies that we share all the time. So make sure you're subscribed. All right. That is our show. That's what we had to talk about tonight inside Money Classroom. Big up yourself, everyone, for being here with us. And until our next episode, I'll see you again. Make sure you implement on the knowledge that we touched on tonight. Good night, everyone.